This month we will be tackling NLP and basically text. Okay, and I hope that you are interactive with this whole session, and whatever feedback you can give me in the group, and we will obviously be floating the form for that feedback. So I guess इसमें किसी को कोई डाउट है तो प्लीज़ हैंड से ही पूछ सकता है, होना तो नहीं चाहिए. So I guess नहीं है. So first of all, let's say what is ML. I don't know if how many second year, first years are there. Today will be a generalized session. From next time we will start some coding, we will get to know some websites, some resources. Today I am going to start with a generalized session. So anybody who knows what is ML, anything, full form or anything, you can just raise your hand and unmute yourself. Machine learning. Okay, so like, can you describe it? Like, what is machine learning? Yeah. Okay, that's a good enough. Any other explanations? Google कर लो यार. Do chat GPT, Bard, Google. If you don't do that in like this session, then I don't think you will be able to learn anything at all. Because like any ML developer right now needs to know Googling, chat GPT and Bard. That's like the first thing that you should do. Like open your laptops or open your phone, change the window and Google what is machine learning, what is ML on ChatGPT, Google or Bard, and tell the answer. So yeah, anybody else who wants to tell that? Anyone else? No one. I would say ऐसे नहीं चलेगा session. यार मतलब जितना interact करोगे, मतलब जितना पहला session I understand, but I think there are a lot of ACM people also here, so maybe you can take the lead. No worries. Okay, so basically that definition was pretty much right, and machine learning is the name of the game or whatever we will be doing, and it is basically teaching machine and computer algorithms how to identify patterns. Okay. So this is the gist of it. Any other definition that you might have come across if you would like to share? Nobody hand is, no hand is. This is not a lecture, by the way. This is just a session. अब मैं एक करके नाम लेना शुरू करूँ क्या? Okay, Arushi, are you there? Yeah, attendance. Hello. Yeah, so do you know anything about machine learning or ML? I guess. Okay, somebody raised their hand, like they can just answer. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good explanation. So I would say, that was a really good explanation, Jimin, if that I'm pronouncing that right. So okay, Jimin, I hope that was correct. So basically, machine learning is something divided into 3 parts. Okay. I have seen many lectures and if anybody knows about AnduNG, please raise their hands, and if you don't know about them, then I'm not that happy, but you should know about them. Okay, I can see a lot of hands, but for the majority of people who don't know who is AnduNG, I'm just writing his name. You can Google it during the class, after the class, but he is like the god of teaching machine learning, and you can learn everything about machine learning, like from the basics to a lot of things from him, and you can see his YouTube videos. Okay, So if you go there, now you can lower your hands. So basically, machine learning has a methodology which follows these steps. Okay, the first step is input, the second step is the model, and the third step is the function. Sorry, the output. Okay, and basically the output is basically anything, right? You can have a squaring function. Okay, let's just say x square is there. You give an input, you give an output. Can somebody give me an example output? कोई मतलब number दे दो यार. हाँ 4. Okay. What would be the answer? 16. Okay. So is this a machine learning model? Basically, this is a mathematical definition. This is not a machine learning model. Okay. This is a function. Okay. And basically, the model thing is an approximation of this function. I don't know how many of you have studied any other subject, numerical analysis, but if you have studied that, in that subject we try to get interpolation function or something. If you don't have no studied that, you can just ignore this part. But in that you find to your goal in exams are to approximate a problem into a function that you might not know about and get that function. So like everybody gets this point what machine learning is doing. And if you don't get that point, you can just raise your hand and like tell whatever was the output. Everybody gets that point. Hand raise karo jaldi. Like who get like everybody gets the approximation part and what the model actually doing. The model is not something intelligent. It's just pure mathematics. Okay. Like machine learning, many people say machine learning is coding. Many people say machine learning is basically mathematical learning. Okay. When you like do the Andrew NG course, there are just formulas. He will just teach you the formulas and their algorithms, formulas and algorithms. Okay, and you can get to know that. But in these sessions, what we will do, we will be focusing on something called as applied machine learning. Okay, and this is a newer field, or application-based machine learning. So could anybody like get what it's meant as like the name itself? Yeah. Basically, like what I personally I would like to share is like I personally pursued the basic machine learning and maths learning in my first 2 years of college, and like that was a good experience. I would like to say that. But it was most definitely not the efficient experience. Okay, if you go out there in the industry, they will not ask you to know about the formulas, know about whatever. They will ask you that afterwards, and there is like basic machine learning for that. But majorly they will ask you for actually applying something to your project, because honestly what people see is what people think that so if you don't apply machine learning and you stick to just basic projects, people might think that know the knowledge and know the basics. But if you don't have good application based projects that are actually using current algorithms, then that might put you as a disadvantage. So I guess everybody's clear with that. Then they can just raise their hands. Yeah. Any doubts regarding till this point? Like, please unmute yourself. Because the thing is, only 2 or 3 people are speaking, and that's not a good indication. If you like speak out loud, what is machine learning? You don't get that point. I can repeat that point and tell you about it. Okay, so no doubt. So let's actually see what LLMs are now. That's a big leap. Okay. Nobody teaches you LLMs from the start. You will go through the data set something like that. But first, let's look at LLMs. Okay. Does anybody know the full form of LLMs? Okay, yeah. Large language models. Can you give me an example of LLMs? Any other example? Mid journey is an LLM. Stable diffusion is an LLM. Okay, मतलब continue. मतलब the thing is LLM से तुम्हें मतलब you can understand ना कि what is the input and what is the output. Yeah, but can you tell me the input for the LLMs? What is the input? Okay, text. And what is the output? Is also text. Everybody is clear with that? What are LLMs? Everybody is clear with that? Yeah, we will coming to that. मतलब, the vectorized data is basically calculated on your part, right? So you can say the vectorized data, and the output is also the vectorized data in tensor only. But for the we are starting from the basics, right? So I don't want people to get to know the terms vectorized data in the first session only. They would be like, what is that? So yeah, basically it's text, and you can call it vectorized data, but basic embeddings and everything are created later on the product side. You encounter text only, right? Is that clear to everyone? Does anybody else know about vectorized data? Does anybody else wants me to explain vectorized data now? I guess no one. Okay. So, and any other example? Yes, Chirag. What is your question? Okay. So, first of all, let me just go through more examples. Okay. So then I will tell you what is vectorized data. So anybody knows any more examples? Google them here. Google more examples. Google, tell me some model names. These are products. These are not models. Tell me some model names if you can Google it right now. Da Vinci, okay. Codex, I will make Codex, that's easy. Yes, Codex. Next, GPT-4. Okay. Now we are Lambda. More, any BERT. Okay. Now we are getting somewhere. Llama 2 is also there. Palm 2. Anybody else? Any other model? Give me a very basic old model. Okay, these are all. I think so. I have heard about this not Lambda. I think I have not heard about Lambda that much. It's a good model, I have heard, but I have not tried it out. I have tried out BERT. I have tried out Llama. Give me an old model that you like. You can Google which is the oldest full LLM model, that is first paper that mentioned LLMs. You can just go through that. I don't get your question. Are these different from AI models? Yeah, GPT. That's a good. So yeah, you can can you explain that question a bit well? So basically, LLMs is a category. Okay, what I am trying to teach is applied machine learning. Applied machine learning is nothing but basically deep learning. Okay, I am not deep learning, and then deep learning has different subcategories like NLP. Okay, and then NLP, NLU, and क्या कहते हैं, there are different subcategories in language processing also. There are NLP, NLU, and many other things, and then there is LLMs. Okay, so there's a 3-4 layer abstraction. 3-4 layers. Yes. Please ask your question. No, actually, okay. So basically, what I give you is a map to go through deep learning and get to know about the journey. But basically, NLP previous hand was a statistical modeling thing. Basically, what happens is okay, I don't think I should give a talk on this right now, but let me indulge you. Basically, you tell me. I will ask you questions, then only I can explain you that. Okay, statistical NLP is a field of study. It's still a field of study. People are still doing statistical NLP because language is very statistically based. Can you tell me the most used word in English language? Google that right now. Yes. Good that you know that. It's the. Okay. And then the next 10 words are also statistically like taken into account. And like it's the, then it's I, it, or something, something, something. Okay. And these words account for like 70 to 80% of our language. I don't know why there is a fact or correlation. Like 50%, I would take a modest guess. I don't remember the paper exactly. You can Google it. And there's a 50% correlation for statistical significance in these words. Okay. Whatever gibberish I just said, these are just stuff you can search up. But basically, there is a lot of top 10 words in your language then compared to top 1000 words in your language. Okay. You don't use supercalifragilisticexpialidocious that much time, that many times. Okay. So what like statistics does is like it's a field of what is the field of statistics do? Can you Google that right now and tell me the answer? प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन गूगल करके बताओ वो बेटर रहेगा कोई गूगल करो या रिलेशंस इज अ गुड थिंग व्हाट इज द प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन लाइक you should Google in this class, you should use ChatGPT in this class, otherwise you might not get to know anything. Yeah, did you get an answer? Did anybody get an answer? Yeah, stats is yeah, it's basically data collection, interpolation. Like it's not relation, it's a lot of things, right? Interpolation, data collection. It's all about data, and all the aspects of data. So let's just say instead of having deep learning models, basically deep learning is a very different subject, and statistics is a very different subject. Statistics is a subject that helps a lot of deep learning, and that is the gist of it. But statistics just deal with data and how they don't focus on repeating the data. Okay, they are focusing on studying the data. So deep learning is based on learning from the data, so that's a major difference. So what they did is like they produced like different models. They also had models is a very interchangeable term with functions. I just now told you that models as functions to like predict the word top 10 words. You know the top 10 words occur like 50% of the time, so half of the time you are correct for a certain word. So to predict the top 10 words and where the top 10 words will go there in a sentence with dashes in them. That's like a famous paper. I don't remember the name of that paper. Okay, so basically there was like John drives dash car and buys dash New York Times. Let's just say Times. Okay, so what would be the correct answer for this sentence? Can you tell me that? This is an example, and you have to fill in the two blanks. Like, so basically here should be a drive the car or the car. The car, I don't think it's right. And the is the correct answer. The Times is the newspaper's name. So basically you can make a model out of this and say it's performing like 50% of the time. You can have some optimization, and you can say you don't need any deep learning in this. You can just predict out of a list of words, top 10 list of words, and get the answer, and maybe optimize it a bit to look at this and this word and get the answer. Okay. Did you get the whole statistical point on how like they do this statistical learning to analyzing the data and predicting from that analysis? Did you get that whole point? Yeah, okay, I think you got that point. So I don't think we will be doing that in this class, and I don't think you are that interested in data science right now. If you are, let me know. I will have that as a different topic and a session. So basically these are different models, okay? And I can see 1, two, three. Three models are from OpenAI. So I guess OpenAI is definitely doing something in that field. But like there are three classes of models. Okay, and those are based on architectures. And there is deep learning also. There is NLP also. Then there are LLMs. Okay, LLMs are also subcategorized into many different things as to what they do, and mostly it's, I think so, sequence to sequence or text generation. I think there was another question about what I was trying to explain, but I think I have forgotten that question. Was there another question regarding LLMs? Does anybody have any other question? I guess not. Okay. So let's continue. So basically, there's a machine learning. Like you can go on like the internet, or you can just go on ACM Thapa, then course CS guide, and there I have written like a document to learning machine learning. So basically, there is AI, there is machine learning, and there is DL. Okay, and these are three different things, but it's like AI is here, machine learning is here. Sorry for my bad handwriting. Machine learning is here, and DL is here. And then I am like subcategorizing till the LLMs part, because they are a newer and newer iteration of the whole thing that is happening since the 1960s or the 80s. Okay, so basically you said a lot of names about LLM, right? GPT is a very good model to start with. Okay, and we will be dealing with transformers based models. Does anybody know what a transformer is? Does anybody know the full form of this? GPT has a full form. You can Google it right now and tell me the full form. Generative pre-training. I am not writing the word. Aage. Okay. Transformer, right? Just generative. I think generative is pretty understandable. It generates data. Pre-training is pretty understandable. I mean, not to many people, but pre-training is a like general verb that you use. I don't think many people are aware of transformers. Like, you can raise your hand if you don't know about transformers. Okay, so there are 32 people in this meeting, and 10 people don't know about 12 people don't know about transformers, and the rest 30 know, and the rest 20 know. That is very interesting. Okay, yeah. I think people are like waking up. I will start asking. Yeah. No. These are computer science. These are like computer science transformers. I was going to make that joke, but yeah, these are like different. These are like different things. So I don't think, if you know about the transformer in electronics lab, I don't think that is the same transformer I'm talking about. I don't think that transformer can generate text at all. It can only generate electricity. So yeah. So yeah, 11 people. I will ask you many questions about transformers. People like start raising hand and start waking up, I guess. So there are 10 people who don't know what. Okay, so maybe many people like did not raise their hand, or raise their hand and put that down. So basically, transformers is something else. Like, transformers are not an AC device. I will first say that. Okay, AC, I think so. Alternating current. Okay, these are an architecture, or like a blueprint level. That would be better. For these are a good print for making good LLMs. And this there is a like very monumental paper. I will share that paper in 2017. It's called Attention is All You Need. And you can read that paper. It's all about one architecture called transformers, and how like this is a paper from Google. Like people from Google developed this architecture, and like we will discuss about what is an architecture, how like why are we doing the architecture right now and stuff. But basically, like architecture is a blueprint or a way to make your own model, and this is like a basic architecture that is being currently used instead of that. Yeah, yeah. Anybody else like raising their hand, Nakul? Do you have any doubt? I guess he's not there. So let us discuss about transformers. So Google for me, transformers, LLMs or transformers, attention is all you need, and tell me what comes up, because I don't have any slides. Yeah, I guess nobody's googling. I hope everybody's googling. Yeah, it's showing a paper which is titled. Yeah, its attention is all you need. So I don't have airdrop, so that's sad. But I will just Google search it with you, I guess. Oh, ChatGPT, nice. Trans. Yeah, so basically, okay, so there is a really complex image. Don't look at that. Yeah, I like this image a lot. Can you see that image? Are you ready to understand that image? Raise your hands. Okay, not in this session, by the way. I will not going to teach you everything in this session. We will just take the overview and know about what else to do about this image. So why are we learning transformers? Can anybody you can put your hands on. Why are you learning transformers, and why are we doing that? Can anybody? I mean, basically, it's like state of the art. Okay, it's nothing but state of the art. So it's like short form. It's state of the art, and everything nowadays use transformers. There in computer vision also there are transformers. In like in the text analysis there are transformers. In classification model there are transformers. Everything uses transformer these days. So you should learn about transformers. I would say these are like linear regression for anything that you do nowadays. You need to know this. If nobody knows about linear regression, then that's okay. But this is like a very basic algorithm that you will learn, your ML course, and I might also take up that if people are interested in that. But it's like a very basic architecture that you will learn about, and it looks a lot complex, and it is complex if you don't know anything. But that's where I come in. Okay, and any other doubts, any other thing so far from the session? No, okay. I would say like you can have doubts, and like silly doubts are also entertained. Any other doubts or any like other related ML stuff is also entertained. So we will. Somebody asked me that in about input embedding, right? Okay, and like if you will read that paper, transformer paper, they have categorized two parts of this whole architecture. Okay, I think I should use another pen. can you just Google those two parts name, or maybe you can go through another research paper, not another paper, another photo that might come up with that transformer thing. Like these are two different parts. Let me tell you that. Yeah, somebody said encoder, decoder. I hope everybody is getting the whole encoder and decoder. Not the point, like the image and like they're googling or something. And could you tell me what an encoder does and what a decoder does? These are very common terms in computer science. If you're not a computer science, then you can Google it. Then you can chat GPT it. If you already know something about encoding and decoding, you can tell me that right now. Hmm. Yeah, that's a good explanation. That's a very tailored explanation towards LLMs, I would say. Um I wanted a general explanation about encoder and decoder. If you do encryption, or if you know about anything about encryption, then you will also know about encoding and decoding. Or you can Google search and give me a general thing. I think there is encoding and decoding in electronic subject also, and like of data signals. So yeah, anybody knows anything about that? Like a very generalized overview. Don't give me a LLMs based overview or yeah, yeah. That's also like really good. As converting a sequence from text to binary is also encoding, and then from binary to uh, text, binary to back to text is also decoding. Any other example? Like you should be familiar with the term encoding and decoding. I hope everybody knows about encoding and decoding in some form or other. Raise your hands. Not necessarily the LLM one, but anything else like making the data from one data to the other data, then getting back the data from one data to the other data is the basic gist of the whole encoding decoding. Only like 7 people know about it, or 6 people know about it. What about the rest who don't know about encoding and decoding? Like, can they raise their hands? Okay, and Chirag, like, can you formulate what you don't know about encoding and decoding into a question? Okay, so you don't know anything about encoding. Do you know about ASCII? ASCII. Okay, which year are you from, by the way, if I might ask? Okay, understandable. So basically, you will learn about ASCII if you do C programming and you attend classes. Sadly, there is a correlation between attending classes. So ASCII is a table, or like I can just Google it. You can also Google it with me if you don't know about ASCII or like anything about encoding or decoding. You can Google about ASCII and like tell me what is the full form of ASCII. Can okay, that's weird. Can anybody tell me the full form of ASCII? And don't look at my answer, please. Very nice cave. Okay, I guess I am not getting that table. Let me just copy some other table. So anybody knows about ASCII or what it ASCII is? Like, can a senior help him out? Why is this happening? Letters and numbers. I mean, you can Google it. You can look at it and let me know. Take your time. Don't hurry. Don't hurry. And while I also, try to copy this image for some reason. Okay, I will just save it. Yeah, so here is an image and here is another image. Hello. Yeah, are you able to hear my voice? ब्रेक हो रही है इंटरनेट इशू. हेलो. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट नाउ? एक second. Hello. Is it better right now? एक second. I will just rejoin the meeting. Yeah, can you hear me now better? Hello. Break तो नहीं करना चाहिए सर. Can you see my screen? स्क्रीन दिख रही है बट आवाज़ ब्रेक हो रही है. एक सेकंड. I will just rejoin the meeting again, I guess. राम राम हो गया भाई मीटिंग का. राम राम. हेलो. Hello.
Much better.
Yeah. I think it was some net issue. Yeah, था पर internet. Don't test that. So I will just switch to my headphones. Yeah, can you still hear me? And is it not that bad? Yeah. That's just my headphones. So yeah. You can still hear me, right? Hello. Raise your hands if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay. Raise your hands if I'm audible. Okay, and I hope you can see my screen also. Yes. So now you can, I guess that was good enough time to search about ASCII. Now I want you guys to tell me what ASCII is. Anybody who wants to tell? Anybody can raise their hand and make unmute. Yeah, so basically ASCII is some sort of mapping. I think everybody knows functions, I think so. Like functions from 12th class, when there was one sad ass chapter called sets and functions and relations. Raise their hand if you remember that chapter. The maths was something new, engineering. Yes, I hope everybody knows that chapter. So basically, it's like a function to encode your values. ASCII deals with is like a function, and obviously, like someone said that it is a mapping of characters to a set of numbers, and the numbers go from 0 0 0 to 2 4 4 in this case. And when you get, like, let's just say I want to type my name, what would that this be in ASCII? Can anybody tell me that number? You can go on Google and search for ASCII converter, or you can do it by hand using this table. Just tell me the answer. I hope you are doing the like question I've given you, and like convert this into ASCII. Okay, so it's basically 65. I think more people should do the activity, and like only one person give me the answer. 117, 115, 104. Good. So I guess that is a solution. Is there any other type of encoding that you can do? If I told you that you should do ASCII, would you get any other answer? Yes, that is good. And you, because it's a fixed function, right? You have a table and you have like certain mappings. And let me just give you another answer, and it's you need to convert it back from ASCII. And don't look at my table. Do from Google or Bard or something. I don't know. Tell me the answer. SOS. Yeah, save our souls. That is the answer. So here, as you can see, this is another decoding step. I don't think anybody is able to read this and understand what I meant, and I don't think anybody is able to say okay. But as computers only know numbers, and they don't know about characters, and this ASCII codes get converted into binary, obviously. But basically, it's numbers, and numbers are representing some character value. And take this thing to heart, because that is what all LLMs are at the base of it. They are just good number converters, and then they do some prediction on that, and then get me back some more numbers. Okay, and the whole decoding and encoding thing is like a very sub part, but obviously they have called like decoding. And I hope now everybody, and now is there anyone who did not understand what encoding and decoding is? First, this part is called as encoding, and this part is known as decoding. I hope everybody understands that. Does anybody have any other doubt regarding encoding and decoding at least? Okay. I guess we can end the session at like 10-15 minutes. I did not want the session to be too long, as I don't know how many people might enjoy a 3-hour session or anything. But yeah, 1 hour general session would be good. So now I would say I would ask you more trivia and not tell you about word embeddings right up. So does anybody know about Hugging Face? Google Colab. I would just like Colab. And Python. Okay, you can, if you don't know about any of these things, it's like an OR statement. If you don't know about Hugging Face, you still need to type one in chat. You need to type one in chat if you don't know about Colab or Python. But you know about Hugging Face. But you still need to type if you don't know about them. Any one of them. Yeah, I don't see any. I think everybody knows everything about this. Everybody knows everything. You can just type one in chat. Because hand raising is not a good thing to keep account of people. Everybody knows about. Okay, the people who know about Hugging Face, type one in chat. One person. 2, 1. Okay. Okay. Let me ask any one of you now. You need to tell me what Hugging Face is. Any one of you. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of things right now. It's a startup, yes. That is also correct, and it's basically like a GitHub alternative for ML models. There are a lot of different places where you can build ML models. Obviously, there is Dog Hub. There is like some NVIDIA based technology also. So yeah, it's basically a GitHub alternative for ML models, and where you can build ML models, you can create, you can share them. And now everybody type two in the chat for the people who know about Collab and Google Collab. Okay, and now Chirag, can you explain what Google Collab is? Yeah, so you can run a lot of I think so different code, not necessarily Python, but yeah, it's basically a software for Python notebooks. And do you know what a notebook is? Like Jupyter notebook. Anybody know that? Type like four in the chat. What is a Jupyter notebook? A notebook for Python. One person. Okay, so not many people know about notebooks. That's okay. You can basically whatever interface there is in Google Colab, that's called a notebook, and you can search upon it. And now, lastly, type three in chat if you can. If you know about Python. I hope a lot of people know about Python. Like you don't need to write any code. You just need to know what it is. Like do a Google search. Let me know what Python is. Okay, so now maybe someone. Yeah, Shivanshu, can you tell me what Python is? Yeah, it's a programming language. That is the right answer. And so basically, in this whole like in from the next session, we will be knowing about these three entities, and I have shared like a resource for you guys. I have added that in the group description also. uh, it's a resource about the workshop that we conducted for the first year students. You can go through that. There are a lot of activities that you can do in there. Like there are a lot of notebooks. Otherwise you can start from scratch and take that other bit and search on YouTube and know about Python, Google Colab, and Hugging Face. So we will be using these three links, and we will be trying to from the next class implement not this exactly, but know about this and like try Hugging Face to get some models and try them out for sure. Because building everything from scratch would be a pain, and that is not a good thing. And you should be able to use ML models very easily. So let us now. Should I now let me just take a poll and raise your hand if you want to know about embeddings and input embeddings right now and transformer more, or should we just leave it at this? Because it's been an hour and I don't know if you can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the people who want to have it in the next class, just type next class if there will be a next class. So yeah, next class, next class. Two people only. Three. Okay, and the hand raising people, keep your hand raised. And three, four. Okay. I don't know what to do. Like, there's not a big margin. Okay, so many people want to. Okay, I will just give you like 2 minutes only. That would be good. You need to search upon this. Okay, you can do your hand. I will explain it fully in the next class. You know, I will just give you. Okay, so basically, does anybody know about vectors? Can you say what vectors are out loud? Like, can you raise your hand and say what vectors are? Because 2 minutes, I have to wrap this up in 2 minutes, so you need to be active. I am going to still ask you the question. Yeah, that's a good enough question. Basically, vectors are some representation, I mean, there is something called a scalar also. Basically, it's a point and a basic point. I was asking about mathematical vector. So it represents like a direction and like a scalar quantity and magnitude. And like 1D arrays are also vectors. If you go in linear algebra, you have different. That was a really good answer. I was trying to get something basic. Yeah, it's a 1D array, and you can I think everybody knows about arrays. If you don't know about arrays, then Google that. I cannot teach you everything. And vectors are basically some 1D arrays. So basically, could you tell me? I could just say there is Ayush, or let us say there is A, and I want to convert it into an array of something, or numbers only. And could you like get some example from ASCII and something like that? This is basically where input and embeddings. Don't worry, this is like a very gist of it. Can you, because it's a list of numbers, it's a list of arrays, can you think about some approach to get? Yeah, I was about to recommend that, but don't learn linear algebra right now. That is like a 6 to 10 hour investment. So you can learn that later on. And we are not going to deal with a lot of linear algebra, I hope. You can. So no approaches come into mind if you want to make it a vector, as vector is just a 1D array. Okay, so can you tell me the range of ASCII? What are the numbers ranging from? I think they are from 000 till 2444, right? 0 to 2444. Let me just make an array of 2, 4, 5 numbers and put them all as 0. So, and then Ayush is the 60, A is the 65th element. And let me just make the whole array, make the 66th element or the 65th index element as 1 and the rest as 0. Is this a vector or not? Can anybody raise the like, you can just type in the chat and say yes, it is a vector. Yes. Only one person thinks that is a vector. Okay, for the people who did not understand that, can you raise your hands? Okay, so what is your doubt? Can you formulate that into, okay, a lot of people, one person can ask the question. Arushi, can you ask the question? Okay, so did you get what is a vector? Okay, so basically, again, vector is an array. I hope everybody knows about an array. If you don't know about array is basically collection of numbers. You can add any number like 11, 12, 12 and 13. You have an array and there are square brackets. That's an array. And you can make it a vector if it's like a 1D array. What 1D is basically one dimension. You have a table, right? That's a 2D array. You have dealt with tables all across your life. So if you enclose this whole into 11, 12, 13, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, it has 2 dimensions, right? This and this. Whereas this only has 1 dimension to move in. So that's just why it's called 1D array and this is called 2D array. Did everybody get that? And for the people who did not get that, raise your hands. Okay, so what is your doubt in that? Yeah, so basically, I personally think you can look up this term called array and vector and study about it. If you don't get what is actually clear, so you can just like DM me or something and we can talk about that. I hope that that is now clear. And for the people who got the vector part, uh, did did you get the whole assigning the whole thing as zero? For the people who got that part, like raise your hands if you get the logic of assigning everything as zero and using this range. And raise your hands if you don't get that part. Okay. So, Nakul, can you like explain it to me what you did not get? Because zero means nothing. So basically, we are assigning it as zero because you can see the maximum range of all values is 0 to 244, right? And the 244 whole value is being used as the maximum value that can exist. So basically, this is called as hot encoding. You can look up it, and I should not have told you that, but this is called as encoding, as we had discussed what is encoding is. Basically, you're converting our ASCII string value. This is some sort of number, right? Number into a array. And if you don't know about array, you can look at it up. And we are using zeros because zeros mean nothing, right? And if there is a zero, then it does not mean that this string is getting converted into the one or something. And we are using a one because it exists. Like, do you know about true or false, right? True is means zero, sorry, true means one, or and false means zero. Like on off, you do a switch, right? So it's basically an on and off thing for everything. Did and who did everybody get this point, and who did not get this point can raise their hand. Everybody got this point, right? And who did not get the last part about making the 66th element as one? Raise their hand. Everybody got that point. So now can you write like one, just write one in the chat if you got all the points and like are okay with whatever I just said. I think that's a lot of progress that many people got to know about that point. And if you still are not clear, I can provide you some resources. It's very basic. That you are just converting, instead of using a number, you are just using a vector, and you are doing this. So if you look at this whole encoding part, this is just called as input encoding. And now you can maybe plot graph with 255 dimensions or something like that, and get a point which is existing on this or something like that. But basically this is representing in terms of array slash vector instead of a number. First of all, I will be sharing my screen.